We will talk about that. What's up? Oh my goodness, I should have started the show. We sitting here talking about sports. What it do, man? What it
What's
do?
going on, man?
Where we at, y'all? It's Team No Sleep. It is the social impact of sport, and it's what is it? September? Golly, September 6th already. My goodness.
Yeah,
How you living, brother?
blessed, man. Can't complain, man. God done blessed me beyond belief, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it going, man. I mean, I just can't. I'm amazingly blessed, and I'm so thankful for it. So I gotta definitely shout it out.
I love it. I love it. That's a good way to be, right? Every day you get another opportunity, take advantage of it. So, we back, folks. Took a little time off, but we want to talk to you about social impact of sport, and we want to recap some things that we missed from the week that we weren't here before. So, if we talk about a story that you like, or if we miss talking about a story that you like, put it in the comments so we can get caught up, right? Because we 14 days off right now, and you know me, I'm always slightly off. Let me make sure our comments are working because you see how I redid the aesthetics a little bit of the show. I'm looking, I don't even know where I'm looking now. I got cameras moved all over the place because oh my gosh, hold on, man. See what I'm saying? Let me do this. There, boom, boom, boom. Chief is in. So we got Senior in the building. We got my man Chief in the building. That's a good old school dude right there. Chief has actually been hanging with us for a long time. So appreciate you for being here as well, sir.
Shout
Um,
out to Chief. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. Let's give some love and shouts out to the kids. Let's talk about the kids, man. Let's talk about the Little League World Series. Let's talk about California winning everything.
Yes.
California, listen, and I love this because it's baseball, and I know you torn a little bit because you're not a big baseball watcher. You're
I
not
mean, you
down
know what?
you're
I
not
watched
down
it,
for
but I
three
did watch
hours.
that game. I
Okay,
did watch that game though, the Little League World Series. So, um, walk off home run. They end it. Come
yes,
on, man. It don't get no better than that. And I forgot the other team they played against, but they came back, right? They took the lead from we led first.
Curacao, man, Curacao from over
Yeah,
over in by Venezuela. Yeah, man,
yeah.
listen,
So Caracas, so we were in the lead. I don't know if people watched the game, but Caracas came back with a storm and I think in the
yeah,
sixth inning to take the lead. And I felt bad for the kid, the American kid, the pitcher, curly head guy that gave up the big run to give up the lead. I felt really bad for him. I was like, man, it's gonna be tough. And then our last ups, and dude crushes a home
my
run
goodness.
to win the game.
It's sad because this picture right here shows the image of the pitcher after he gave up that home run to number 19. So shouts out to Luis Lape from El Segundo, and who
Yes.
won the game for us. It's always good. So pure and so um,
Yeah.
you can't buy that happiness, right? Especially when you're a young kid like that and playing that game and you get all the emotions of I think there's more emotions in baseball for kids than there is for football. I
I'm
honestly
probably
believe.
right. What's funny? I was watching it, and I was watching with some of my family members, and I said, "That's a life altering moment that just happened for that young
Yes.
man.
Yes.
That's a life. That's not just a moment. That's a life altering moment for that young man.
Yeah.
Success will keep coming towards his way because of what he's done just on that one hit, and that's in that moment and that pressure, he was able to come through and be successful. I think that's a life altering moment for him. As his success goes on through his life, I wish could follow him, like follow him through his whole, just to
Because
kind of
that's
figure
all
out where it all leads. But
that's as
I'm honest to God, true. I think that was a life altering moment.
yeah, I'm gonna say I think that's as big, if not bigger, than to be honest with you, someone put an Eagle Scout on their resume.
Yes.
Just for an athlete at that age to be able to work with a team, build a team, win the World Series, and I think that's just a huge thing. So yeah, man, shouts out to California on that. Noosh is
Yeah.
in the building. What's going on, brother?
Big news. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, man, that what comes with that success, right, comes opportunity. And this young
Mm,
man's going to get a ton of opportunity coming his way,
okay.
as he enters the high school ranks,
Yeah.
as he enters in the classroom, as he's already known probably throughout El Segundo. I'm sure he's a hero in El Segundo
Oh,
right now.
listen, he don't have
So,
to buy nothing at Del Taco anymore,
yeah,
or
yeah.
wherever the kids are eating at these days. I don't know, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, more opportunities are going to come his way. And with that, that just breeds you to mature a lot faster in the business world or in the world he chooses to be in because of opportunities that were presented to him. He just had a life, man. I mean, that successful one had a life altering moment for him, and like I said, if someone's out there and they live in El Segundo, I promise you, watch this young man's story and document it because he's going to be on YouTube talking about
Oh
from
yeah.
Little League World Series to wherever he's going to end up at.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that was the one. I think that was the one thing, and I thought that, man, I was like, the perspective I took from was like, man, not only did he win it, that was just, man, wow, what a rise above the occasion and take advantage of what's there, and to hit a walk off home run in the Little League World Series when everybody actually thought the game was pretty much over and was going to go in
Thought it
overtime.
was done. Thought it was done.
Thought it was good, man, and this dude did it. So shout out to El Segundo.
Yes.
Big props, man. And what a community, man. I mean, think about the community. El Segundo, what we would say 25 years ago, used to be very urban, very, very poor. It was a poor community, honestly. Now it's an affluent community. It's changed around. Obviously, you can see that the demographics has changed big time, and that they rallied around these kids and look at the success they're having, at least with their youth. So shout out to them all the way around.
So kids are doing
story.
big things, right? Kids are doing big things. We're talking about this, talking about the Little League World Series and giving these flowers out to these kids. And kids, for the most part, want to do good. I'm transitioning into our next story
Yep.
about Oakland, right? And the fact that, again, we've got kids who want to stay off the streets, kids who want to be in organized sports, who want to be doing something good with themselves, exercise and all of that stuff. However, there are certain folks out there that just can't, I don't know, can't get out of our own way. I'm talking about Oakland, talking about the Oakland East Bay Panthers youth football team. Again, we've talked about this squad before because, and the last time we talked about this squad, they had a shooting. It was either a game or was it a practice, and everyone was shook up about it. Right? It was nerve wracking. It was tough to get over. And now here we go again. Here we go again. K-Ron 4 is reporting and is talking about yet again another shooting happening at a game or at a practice, and now the teams don't even want to play there anymore. So they were supposed to have a home game at their home field, but they said, "Listen, we not playing here, right? We not." So where'd they go? They went to Santa Clara or something. It was a home game, and
Santa Rosa.
Santa Rosa. I'm sorry. So instead of playing on their home field because everyone is so shooken up, and the coach is even making mentions of PTSD because again, it's happened multiple times for these young kids. Man, they just want to play the game. They don't want to play on their own field anymore, so they're going to Santa Rosa. Man, help me understand and explain this to people because this doesn't make any sense to anybody with common sense. Talk to me, man.
Failure, community failure. Oakland is such a. I don't know if anyone has ever been to Oakland, and I'm from Sacramento, but I got a lot of friends from Oakland. They take so much pride in their city. They love their city. They love where they're from, and Oakland's always had a rich heritage and rich history, especially amongst Black folks and the things we're able to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this transitioning of Oakland in the last 5 or 6 years has just been absolutely blasphemy. I mean, it's went from situations where youth are not protected. I mean, there used to be sacred ground, even amongst gangsters. I mean, amongst guys that participate in the lifestyle, there used to be sacred ground, right? You don't mess with kids, you don't mess with old women, you don't mess with these certain things. That has went out the window now, and now we have situations like this that occur. I mean, the city of Oakland's failing itself. I mean, Oakland right now is going through gentrification. Make no mistakes about it.
Yeah.
Anyone who's been there, they know.
Yeah.
It's going through gentrification. When gentrification becomes change, they're forcing people out. They're pricing people out. Properties getting driven down. And with these acts of violence, it's not helping the cause anyway because now it drives it even more. With that gentrification, this comes change, and people are frustrated about it because they can no longer afford to live there. But again, actions like this don't help their cause at all. So now you have this type of situation happening, and now you've endangered the few people that do live there that take pride that are trying to make it work in Oakland are now their kids are in danger. I mean, between this and bipping and all this other things they're doing out there, man, it just doesn't make any sense, man. I mean, it's. I never thought that I would ever be. I'm not afraid to go to Oakland, but I'm very leery of going to Oakland.
You cautious,
nowadays.
right? Again,
Yeah.
just like me as well. I'm cautious in even certain areas here in NorCal. That listen, I'm not gonna go hang out in a lot of spots that I used to, either because I know better or not because there's some cats out there that got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh, go. No,
No, I'm
finish,
saying
finish.
so. I mean, so you put yourself in situations to where it to make sure you keep yourself out of harm and harm's way and out of danger, especially when you have dependents, when you have a family and things of that nature. So I'm not gonna go out there. Shouts out to Florin Road. I got a lot of folks that are still out there, good people, but there's an element of folks in every city that has an
Yeah,
issue and again just doesn't care. But this again right here and reading the
but
story
th-
and talking to
yeah,
people on the street. But again, I want to get into this because you mentioned it. Folks were saying this is just untouchable ground right here. You don't
yes,
mess with the elderly. You don't mess with
yeah,
kids. You don't you
yeah,
don't you don't do this. But here again, we've had two incidents, one on August 24th and one on August 29th, shooting at the field. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
yeah. And it's crazy because I know you know people from Oakland. I know people from
Mm-hmm.
Oakland. They love their city. Like you can't tell somebody from East Oakland or West Oakland about Oakland. Oakland is they love it. They love everything from the Oakland Hills all the way down to the bottoms to East Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
They love their city. So it's crazy that this part of Oakland is kind of transforming into this because those guys that love Oakland and really represent Oakland in the Bay Area, they don't condone this stuff.
Yeah.
They're not condoning this. So this stuff is coming from I don't want to put the blame, but it's kind of the younger generation that where they just don't care. And we see it all the time when we see these crimes on the news or raiding the malls and all that. They just don't care about certain things. And I think there's a bigger problem, right? There's a root to that problem. There's no opportunity for you. There's no opportunity. Let's be really transparent since this is our show. If you're not a college educated youth, it's not a lot of opportunity for you. Manual labor is going away. So that's not longer an opportunity. There's a high rate of crime in Oakland because the cost of living is so high just for survival. And Oakland is very high. So with all these things being said, I mean, if you live the life of hopelessness, you do desperate things. And I think it's really reflected in that community right now. There's a large homeless community in there. The docks are not hiring anymore in Oakland. It's very hard to kind of get up out of that situation, man. I think there's just a lot of things going on in that city and that melting pot, and things are just starting to boil over and erupt. And these are one of the things. Unfortunately, it's happening to the youth, and I feel very, very sad because those young men and ladies that participate in youth football and cheer
Yeah.
have to now drive an hour and a half away just to participate in the game because they don't want to play in front of their home crowd.
Yeah. See
Which
that's
is
crazy.
understandable.
Right. Again, I'm looking at the age group for the East Bay Panthers, and it's boys and girls ages 5 to 14. How do you
Yeah.
talk to a 5-year-old girl who wants to cheer for her big brother's team, or a 6-year-old boy who out there wants to run the ball like I
Mhm.
like I used to do when I played football, run the ball in the wrong direction, score a touchdown for the other team. But we're not gonna get into that. That's why I went into baseball. But again, at that age, and again, when I was playing football at that age, was not concerned or wasn't worried, wasn't thinking about someone coming onto the field or coming into the play area, threatening or harming anyone.
Nah.
And this isn't even an isolated incident, right? Because again, it
No.
happens so many times, but it is.
It's the third incident
Yeah,
within a year just
yeah,
happened at this field, which is sad because again, it's situations where there's youth on the field playing, young kids. Um, and these are kids that are trying to do the right thing, right? These are parents that are trying to keep their kids
yeah.
involved in activities. These are parents that are trying to keep their kids involved in extracurricular activities outside of school, allowing them to network and be together and celebrating the community because that team is very good. They're traditionally very good Pop Warner or youth football organization. But now that's been taken away, right? Because of these young men or these young people being reckless with firearms and shooting at each other and doing all that stuff, really for no reason, man. I mean, I don't understand what's your difference. If you have a problem with somebody, how come they can't wait 2.5 hours after
Yeah,
football practice
right.
and everything is over?
Why can't you do it like we used to? A lot of us old school folks, right? Go ahead and put some hands on somebody instead of
Yeah,
going
yeah.
out there.
It,
Okay, well, I don't know.
why? Yeah, why does it have to be? I got to get him now, and I don't care who's around, and I don't care if I'm a hurt someone that doesn't deserve to be hurt. I don't understand that thought process. Why they have to do it then and there? Like I can't wait. We could wait because I'm not gonna hurt no kids. It used to be that mantra, honor amongst thieves. That seems like that
Mm-hmm.
moniker's been thrown out. that's thrown out of the window when it comes to these situations. And the only people that are suffering for it are the people that live in that residencies, the people that want to stay in that residency, even though they're going through this gentrification, because now incidents like this, unfortunately, drives the prices down, drives for these people to get in there and sell real quick, and drives for these other companies to buy that all up and rebuild that property. So the old or traditional Oakland that people know about is going to be gone, and it's pretty much it's unfortunate.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen, right? And again, all we can do is do our Monday morning quarterback in here and talk and try to put some action out there and spark some energy. But these kids, these 5 to 14-year-olds, are scarred and don't may turn themselves into negativity, may isolate themselves, may get depressed, may go through all those things, all those adjectives. But something's got to happen. I get.
So you say something's got to happen. The
Yeah,
question is,
I paused right there
well,
when I started to say
my
that.
question would be, everybody, will something happen?
Yeah, that's
See,
what I was going to say. That's why I
this
paused.
story this story pisses me off because where's Oakland PD and where's the Oakland mayor speaking up
Mm,
about this and really putting the stamp on it, saying, "Hey, while these kids are practicing during these games, we'll triple our police presence there to make sure these kids can play."
mm-hmm.
Why isn't that conversation being had? Why is that conversation being talked about to ensure that these young people can still participate and drive those people out of that, at least for that time frame, drive those people out of that area so they
Just
don't have to
show up for
deal with it?
practice, right?
Yeah,
Just have the whole battalion or whatever it
yeah,
is.
it
Just
doesn't.
show up.
So,
Just to show some solidarity.
yeah,
You just
so
show up for anything else. Well, okay.
yeah, so to me, it upsets me. Like I said, the powers that be that are in power
Yeah.
aren't. It's almost like they're throwing them to the wayside too. Good, cool. Go to Santa Rosa, go play. Go play. Well, that's fine. You don't want to deal with it. We don't want to deal with it either. Instead of saying, hold on, I'm the mayor of this city. I'm the police chief of this city. There's no freaking way you're going to drive our youth to have to go play a game 2 hours away when they're supposed to be playing at home
Mm-hmm.
because you knuckleheads want to act funky. What we're going to do is we're going to triple our presence. These kids are going to be able to practice and play during the time frame they're supposed to. And I dare one of you guys to do what you did. Because at that point, we'll all be on you. That'll clear that situation up for that time. At least for those 3 or 4 hours a day, those kids will have a peace of mind, and parents can take their kids there, and everybody feels safe. But that conversation is not happening.
It's not happening.
That's the part that pisses me. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
That's the sad part about this whole thing.
Yeah, these extended conversations are happening in the shadows happening by folks like us who are concerned about the community, and as opposed to. And again, I don't know. I'm 90 miles from Oakland, so again,
Yep.
I don't know what's happening in the Chamber of Commerce. I don't know what's happening in the City Council and all that. But I can guarantee you, unfortunately, that they're not seemingly acting on this the way that the parents
Well,
and the people that live in these communities needed to be acted on.
I hope when you dice this up and we do our little clips. I hope you tag Oakland,
Oh,
California's
so Lord,
mayor and their police on this
you want
because
me to tag
I
Oakland?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because I believe, man. I mean, anybody out here that's our audience and listens, why are they not talking about that? And it shouldn't be behind closed doors. It should be out front and in the public.
Yeah.
You guys that are doing this stuff are not going to take away our youth's opportunity to have some fun for 2 hours. You're not going to do it. So we'll be there in triple force. If I'm a volunteer police, we'll be there. Police officers will be present. Will be there. We'll be circling around the field with cop cars every 5 minutes until these guys are finished with practice. Because we're finished with practice or finished with their game. Because you will not force our youth to have to leave just to participate in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You're forcing families and youth to have to leave due to these very few ignorant people that want to shoot up a popcorn game. So I'm saying, Oakland police, where you at? The mayor of Oakland, where you at? Professional athletes, where you at to help
Where you
fund
at?
it a little bit?
All right.
And I'm not going. And you know what? The only one I'm not going to call out is Marshawn Lynch because that brother's doing so much for that community.
Yeah.
It's
No,
unbelievable.
that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Him and Mr. Fab and a few of those guys that's out there, those entertainers out there are doing so much for that community. And I know they can only do so much, right? They can only do so much.
Yeah, they can't be everywhere all the time. That's
But
true.
but I would like for them to call out the mayor of Oakland and the police of Oakland while they're not stepping up and doing something. They don't got to spend no money, but they can be a voice behind them, like calling them out, saying, "Why aren't you guys triple, doubling up, quadrupling up your police force while these young kids are practicing?" It's unfair, man. That's sad. That's sad.
Jim say Mondale gonna protect these kids at all costs. That's true. That's true, man. We gonna look out for him. Chief, you got a good question, man. But I think just the context of what we're talking about right now, excuse me, it doesn't really resonate. Right. He's saying would love to hear our thoughts on the recent increase in mass lootings involving our fellow brothers. And yeah, it's happening. I've been in San Francisco at the mall when I saw some folks run out with a gang of stuff, gang of purses. So I've been in the building when I've seen it happen. It wasn't me, but I've seen it
I,
happen.
I,
And
you want my take on that whole situation? And my
yeah,
whole take on that situation is, again, the areas that those are happening in are areas that they are trying to are doing gentrification in.
mm-hmm.
Every last one of those areas you see mass looting in these malls and these robberies like that are happening in areas they want to do gentrification in. In San Francisco, that area where that mall was at is prime real estate.
Yeah,
Prime real estate for
right there at
anybody.
Union Market. Yeah,
So if they can run that mall, the people that had that mall and had that lease, I think, for 35 years out, but due to this situation and not policing and not dealing with it, let it run it out, drive that price all the way bargain to the bottom, let somebody come in there and buy that building up and rebuild that, and that's all new housing, and then we'll replace that new area. I mean, I think there's more of a it's more of a plan than anything. You let the natives run restless, tear everything up, go in there, buy it up, and then you clean it up. Just like anything that's been going on for years. It's just now we're starting to witness this with social media
yeah. But
and the media
true,
now.
it's been happening forever. We just everyone now sees it instantaneously when it happens. Not saying again, and not saying that any of it's good because it's all bad, and not condoning any of that behavior um, of
I
anybody
think,
that's doing that. Of
yeah, I
anybody that's
think the
doing
bigger
that.
question, I think a bigger question is what he wants to ask is maybe the reason why, and I believe you got a lot of people living on top of each other
Hmm.
with no opportunity. You know, we gotta look at we gotta look. So let's take the Bay Area, for instance, in San Francisco. Cost of living in San Francisco, a combined family that
Ah,
makes
it's
one
stupid.
hundred $180,000 is still considered poverty.
Yeah, it's stupid.
$180,000, and you're still considered under the poverty level in the city of San Francisco. So how does a family of four try to make it? Better yet, how does a single mother that's raising two boys try to make it? Or a mother of two little daughters, how they supposed to make it? I don't believe in stealing and pillaging at all, but I do believe it's necessary when you have to survive. I don't condone it, but I understand. I really do. So if you have to do that in order to survive, by all means, I think you got to do what you have to do. So those people are, I think, believe are in survival mode. They can't afford to live there. They're being forced out of their home. They probably a lot of them maybe have never been anywhere else. They don't know anything else, and now they're being forced into situations where you got to think the poor people live in a concentrated area. Affluent people live everywhere. Poor people live in a concentrated area. So you have all these people that are in desperate need, in desperation as far as finances is concerned, um, pain, anger, mental issues, everything all on top of one in this little bit of area. And then all you do is say the only thing we're gonna give you to suppress it is drugs and alcohol to suppress your temporary pain. Oh yeah, that's a little bit of means of an outcome to get out. But you know what? If you do that outcome, we're gonna arrest you. So your opportunities are take that opportunity chance or go to jail. I mean, it's so many microcosms of problems that are going on there that it's festered in this one area. And we all know you commit crimes against people that are around you. You don't commit crimes because you want to. It's around people that you know or that are around you. So all those things are festering in one melting pot, and it's boiling over. And now we're starting to see people get frustrated. We're gonna go rob the
Yeah.
loot. We're gonna go loot this spot. Oh, we're gonna go rob this person. We're gonna go attack this person. That's because it's starting to boil over.
Some of it, I mean, you mentioned that, I think, and I think some of it may be crimes of opportunity, but I think some of it is also just crimes of calling out for help.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think
Right.
help.
Right. Again,
Yeah.
you hang out with the wrong squad, and you're out there and you got peer pressure and everything. Two people start running into the jewelry store. The rest of the five people that were with you gonna run in there with you. So I mean, that's a crime of passion, crime of peer pressure, whatever the case may be. But again, as you say, if it takes $200,000 just to be able to afford some regular groceries living in that city, in that location, and it does, because I know a lot of folks that make that kind of money, which is decent money, but they just doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
uh right? When it's that tough to just get by and not necessarily be affluent, not necessarily be flashy, but just to get by and to maybe have a child or two and to maybe want to go to the movies and go out and eat or something, right? It
Hmm.
things just start, as you say, bubbling over, and it's hard to stop it when that wheel is in motion already. Right, but
Yeah.
some kind of way that there's got to be a way of slowing it down. But it's hard to stop that when it's happening. So again, not don't have an answer.
Well,
I-
no, no.
But
I think frustration is an underrated feeling. It's an underrated emotion.
mm,
Frustration is powerful, very powerful. And when you get to a point where you get so frustrated, you start to become anger. And that
yeah,
anger degree from 0 to 10, when you have frustration piled on it, it goes from to 10, right? When you hit that anger point.
yeah.
So can you imagine being a kid or a parent or a young adult that's so frustrated, like I have no opportunities to get a little decent job, or a little decent job doesn't really help.
Hmm.
I have no means to do all these other things. I don't have anyone in my corner to push me because no one else has done it. So no one's in my corner. You have a whole bunch of things piling, and now it used to be, in my apartment complex, a few. Now it's all packed. Everybody's on top of each other. There's abundance of homeless out there. There's drugs everywhere. I mean, can you imagine the kid that's trying to make it out? It's triple obstacles to make it out now than it was when we were coming up.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
more.
That's true, man. That's
So
true.
you got to imagine, if that's the case, the frustration is tripled as well.
The opportunities should be there. The opportunity. This is going to be one. I can see where we're going. And look, listen, phenomenal conversation. And
Mhm.
really, I think what matters, and this is what we do. We got a couple of other things because we want to be cognizant of folks' time. But I keep talking about this, and you know I do, about having those 201, 301, those deeper conversations, bringing in someone from like city council, someone from the police department, the fire department, and again, not just Monday morning quarterback this, but try to get down to some issues and ask those why questions, ask those hard questions. So this is what we're gonna do. I made the marker to remember this because I'm getting old and I forget things, and this is something that's gonna happen. And Jim, no, we can't send them to Stockton because UOP. There's some good folks out there at the University of the Pacific, and we can't do that. Stockton got the hockey team there too, right? I'm trying to get there so I can understand hockey. So we can't have everyone in
Well,
Stockton that's acting
I
a
mean, I
fool.
think that
So
the pushing the barrier, everybody knows it. It kind of was like it's Oakland, and then they try to push him out to Pittsburgh, and then they try to push him out further to Vallejo, and then they try to push him out to Stockton, like you said, in the Modesto area,
yeah,
and then so on and so on. But now the push is no more push. Sacramento's no longer wants to push him over there anymore
yeah,
because now Sacramento's inundated with Oak Park and the gardens and all that
bro,
stuff. Those areas are now everybody living on top of each other.
it's
So
tough.
and we already know they're not pushing to San Jose and Palo Alto.
Oh no,
That's
oh
too much
oh
money.
no, no.
They ain't going that way.
Yeah, get that out your mouth right there,
Yeah,
and that's a conversation that we need to have as well. Why
yeah,
is it that they're able to keep a barrier around those locations? We know why. It's
yeah, yeah.
funding, it's finance, it's money, it's who lives there, and
And they can't push it towards the wine country. That's not happening out there. Can't push it towards Santa Rosa and all that stuff. That's not happening. They got their little bit of crime, but nowhere near like it's going on. So the push now has been like, okay, we're gonna condense them to one area, and I think that's what you're starting to see. Everybody's on top of each other, and you got to think Oakland is a melting pot of culture. You got everything from Hmong to Filipino to
mm,
Black to
mm-hmm.
Mexican to African to all these different cultures, and the ones that can't afford it, you're all put into this one little area. And then you got to understand when we think about cultures, if you know nothing about cultures, you're usually ignorant about it, right? It's just our natural thing. If I don't know something about somebody, I tend to either make fun of it or I don't like it because I just don't know. Not the fact that I have anything against it. That's what we do in cultures. So you
Mm-hmm.
think you put all this melting pot of cultures in one spot? They don't know about each other. They don't know nothing about each other.
They're gonna be a
You know,
problem. They're gonna
yeah,
be a problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your natural instinct is to hate on it or not agree with it, or your natural instinct is not to be open. Definitely, it's to be closed minded always.
That's
Um,
it.
so with that being said, you're throwing all these people on top of each other, and now it's starting to melt. It really is starting to melt. You're starting to have all these incidences, these fights, and these situations. And to think about it even goes further. You take away everything these youth kids had to do. You take away after school programs. You take away sports programs. You take away music programs that is very very prevalent in that community. You take away all these things, and then you say, hey, okay, kids, after 3 o'clock when you leave school, you're on your own. And let's not to mention their education is subpar. They don't get what the Oakland Hills gets as far as all the computers and the books and stuff. So magnifying all that now with social media, influential entertainment that's in a negative sense, and then you have the sense of hopelessness. What do you get? You get a time bomb.
You get a
And that's
bad
what we're
melting
seeing in
pot. Yeah,
sports.
you get a bad melting pot right there, man. I tell you what, let's table that. I want to give a quick shout out because I just saw it insert again, and listen, y'all better get YouTube Premium because that ad that just rolled just now. Listen, we team don't sleep. We got to cover these bills, and if you had YouTube Premium, that little ad wouldn't have rolled just now. But that ad does go into helping keep the show. Keep the I can't keep a straight face, but
Hey, keep the light bill on, man.
listen.
Hey, keep the
You
light
see
bill
all
on.
these lights. We got to keep these lights on. So shouts out to YouTube Premium and those who don't have it, man. Let me go to some of these comments before we move on because I want to make sure that we talk about them. Chief, we're gonna get into it, brother. Don't trip. Don't trip. We're gonna talk about NFL. We're gonna talk college. We're gonna talk about the thing. So yeah, I saw that right there. Fig Munity Clips in the building. Early season division favorite for SDS. Call the championship games. Do you know who that is? SDS. That's you, right? That's down in your neck of the woods. Is that the
Early division favorites for SDL. They talking about San Diego's Lincoln
oh
High School right off the bat.
what
So
you what
they'll
you
win.
already you're not even just thinking about it. You already know who's gonna win.
I think like, there's nobody
Man,
there.
come
Man,
on, man. This man right here.
number 8. Hey, number 8. They should be the number 6 team in the state, and then I
This
think they're number 1 in San Diego. So yes,
this
San
man.
Diego. Lincoln High School is the number 1 team in San Diego.
You didn't even think about
Didn't have to.
it.
Didn't have to.
I
So
love it, brother. I love it. All right, man. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. All right, the Oakland situation was kind of the social impact story that we always start with, but there's another one, and I believe again we've talked about this particular player before, and again it's around putting their hands on people when you shouldn't be. So, L.A. Dodgers, they got a pitcher, Julio Urias. Y'all know him. He's a decent pitcher, right? He's decent pitcher. Goes out and does his job, but he's been charged again with domestic violence. Right, last time he was charged, he was suspended for I think it was 20 or so games, and this time again he's been charged. He's suspended. He's not traveling with the team. Man, this again, someone making $14 million a year to hurl a ball 90 feet and play a game. I would think would have the wherewithal and the smarts. Again, not assuming that again just because you're an athlete, you're an entertainer, you're a sports figure, you're a celebrity, or whatever that you got some more common sense. But again, by feeling that you have to put your hands on somebody because you're having an argument or a disagreement, we've talked about I think this guy before. Just leave. Just pack your Under Armour, your Louis Vuitton, pack whatever bags you got. You leave, she leave, whatever. Leave it alone, and don't put yourself in a situation. And please don't ever touch a woman like that in a negative way. What do you think about this? Because again, I watched this guy pitch, and his job he does well. But again, when you start looking at things like this that are happening, then you start saying, forget that. That's not the important thing. The fact that this person has a problem because multiple times he's being caught up in situations where he's being charged with domestic violence. I can't get down with him now myself. So
he I'm tired of saying the cliche. You need help, but he needs help. He does need help, and he needs to understand how alcohol and
mm-hmm.
machismo and anger and arguing doesn't mix because it leads him to want to put his hands on somebody. And I'm pretty sure that all the above were involved. And then again, have the awareness to walk away. I don't understand. And you said common sense is a common, but it needs to be common when you're in the professional sports and you make money like this. That if you're in a situation where it's about to be a domestic argument and it's about to become physical, then you need to just leave. Regardless if she don't want you to leave or not, you need to just leave. You need to leave the situation. We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah.
or we'll discuss this later on when we got calmer, when we cool off a little bit, because he's that athlete is never going to win. We've seen it with the WNBA player that got suspended for domestic violence.
Yes.
We're seeing it with him, and we're seeing a very watchful eye on this, especially nowadays. If that situation arises, the athlete is always going to lose. They're either going to lose by going to jail and get suspended, always going to lose money, regardless. And if it ends in a divorce, you're going to even lose more money. So you're going to lose regardless of the situation, whether you're married or not. Bottom line, you need to just walk away and wait till you cool off a little bit, and then come back and discuss whatever you're supposed to discuss. That needs to be a common theme echoed around professional sports and people that are in relationships in a situation like this.
Yeah. I mean, along these lines, and again, we've heard a couple of stories about the Dodgers, and I'm sure all the teams, all the leagues, all these organizations handle these things the similar way and professionally. But it's really interesting to see how much the Dodgers move quickly to make sure that they protect themselves as well. And the part that I've got highlighted, right? So they were supposed to be giving Urias' bobbleheads away at a game on the 21st. They're not going to be doing that anymore. They're going to say, you know what? We're now giving away premium bobbleheads. Again, to kind of show that they're doing some action to separate themselves or to chastise this player for what he's doing. So we're not going to be giving away his body. It makes sense. But we saw it before with the Dodgers as well during the LGBTQ
incident.
Protesters, they were out there as well, right? But again, seeing how quickly they react, and I think that is expected. We would expect that. There would be a question if they didn't, but I'm definitely I wouldn't get his bobblehead now anyway.
Yeah. I think as a team, they're moving in the right direction of what they're supposed to do, right? They're doing what they're supposed to do to protect their brand. You have to protect the brand at all costs, and their PR team and their marketing team knows that. Can't give out this person's bobbleheads after he's been allegedly involved in a domestic violence incident. So that's a smart move. Plus, it buys their fans showing that they care, right? This illusion that they care. It's all about just getting the dollar. Let's keep it real. But they want to show everybody that they care, so the fans will keep coming in, and they won't have women groups out here protesting that this guy is still available and you're still marketing his merchandise. It's a win-win for the Dodgers and everybody involved because they're protecting the brand. I completely get it, and great, and likewise they should. I want to see what swift hammer that comes down. Like, is Major League Baseball? Is Major League Baseball going to really come down? How long is it going to take for them to investigate why he's suspended? And what's the action now for a second offender? Second offense. I mean, the first offense he was suspended for games. He's suspended now, but they haven't said he's suspended indefinitely.
True.
There hasn't been any of that, and everything I've seen, actions have been taken. The Dodgers have taken it. Haven't heard Major League Baseball do anything except for they're investigating.
That was the next point that I was going to make. Right, again, that's why I was harping on the Dodgers right there. Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I don't know, man. I really don't know how they're going to address this situation. But I do believe collectively it needs to go out through professional sports, right?
Yeah.
There needs to be a swift hammer handed down to somebody. The last time we heard some swift was Ray Rice.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last swift one. That was the last big one. And that took a while for that to happen. But Ray Rice is the big one. We haven't had one since, but yet we've had hundreds of incidents since Ray Rice. That nothing's really happened to him but a 2-game suspension and so on.
True.
So this will be interesting to see what happens.
So we'll see, right? We'll see. And I mentioned and bring it up because Dodgers the biggest rival to my little Giants up here. I'm still an old school Giants fan, even though I'm also an Oakland fan because I don't want them to move. But just wanted to throw that in. We will see what happens. We will continue to follow this story. All right, man. Here we go. Where Chief at? You still here, brother? You didn't get run away because of the ads, right? Okay. Let's talk football. Come on. Are you ready for some football? Where you want to start? You want to start? No, we're gonna tell you where we're gonna start. We're gonna start with college.
Okay.
We're gonna start with we're gonna start. Hold on. Where my songs at?
Now give me my theme music.
Oh, hold on. That's not even his new song anymore. That's not his theme song. Let's talk about.
We'll go with the old one. That's all right. That's cool. That's the old one. That's good.
Let's talk about them Colorado Buffaloes. Deion Sanders left hot, humid less than preferred situation in terms of equipment, infrastructure, and all of that. Jackson State went up to Colorado with the nice, good mountain air, cleaned the entire house, kicked everyone out. The portal is the portal is the portal. There's pros and there's cons. I think there's more cons to it, but that's a whole nother conversation. Wiped the slate clean. All these new kids coming in, never played. Half of them, more than half of them, never played together. Right? They just have been out there on the practice field together, except for this past Saturday. They finally played a game together. But them Colorado Buffaloes went around and messed around and took TCU, who was in the national championship game. So y'all, if y'all didn't realize last year, a lot of folks thought it was a fluke, but they were there. So they just don't give them their props on that. The Vegas had TCU winning by 20. If I had put just
I had
$10.
TCU winning. I had TCU in the zone.
Right.
I'm not above the scrutiny either, man. I'm in the same boat. Deion.
If I had $10, would have put on them Buffaloes, the spread of that right there. But let's talk about it. So, okay, long story short, I've been procrastinating, but if y'all didn't know, y'all didn't watch the game, Colorado whooped up on. It wasn't a blowout.
But they beat them.
It wasn't a blowout, but they won, right? They did what they needed to do, going out there and beating TCU in their first game. Yep. Now they're ranked, right?
Yep.
What does this mean? What does this mean?
What does it mean? Deion. We are getting ready to witness the changing platform of college football through Deion Sanders.
Say that one more time.
We are getting ready to witness the changing platform of college football through Deion Sanders. Just like what we say, LeBron, or I won't say LeBron, Michael Jordan changed the NBA.
Yeah.
Deion is going to change the way the landscape of college football is recruited and coached, and the way teams are going to market it from now on, from this point out. Like he said, he's a winner. Nothing about him is loser. Everything about him is he's a winner. He's done something that no one's ever done. He took the portal like it's never been done before.
Yes.
He's changed a team that was, remember, 0-11 to winning their first game. Already, and he won the first game against
won the first game. Won that game
against a national opponent.
Against TCU.
Against TCU. He took his son, who everybody said wasn't going to be no good at this level, brought him to the situation, got him acclimated. His son probably right now, and with the Heisman was to be given today, he would be given the Heisman Trophy, bar none. He was the best quarterback on last Saturday.
Yes. Okay.
By far. By far.
He threw for 500 yards. Listen, had probably, but okay. So what's interesting about that? So, and I'm gonna flip flop back and forth because I'm so excited about this. Shador, after the game, said, "This ain't nothing new for me."
Yep.
I've been doing this. I've been throwing for all these touchdowns. I've been throwing for all these yards in the HBCU. Y'all just never watched and y'all never paid attention to us. Now we over here in Colorado. Now we over here in these bigger conferences. Now we got all the TV. Now we got Fox and ABC and CBS and ESPN coming here interviewing us. Y'all still don't believe, but y'all saw what he did.
And I think more from that conversation. Yeah. They asked him the competition. He was like, "It's no different.
It's no different. It's no different."
So these
boys built.
This is something that Deion was echoing when he was coaching at Jackson State.
Yeah.
And HBCUs have been echoing for years that we're just as good as them. They won't give us an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now people that have transferred or converged over from the HBCUs over to Colorado, and he's putting up the same exact numbers and not even better. Like, so they're going to tell you, and this is for everyone out there. People don't understand the disparity between levels of college and football are very far and few. It's not a lot of difference. A running back that's playing Division III football can get it in front of a Division I offensive line and probably put up really, really good numbers just like he does at Division III. Let's just, the difference is the big boys up front.
Yeah.
That's where you get your difference is. And then you have also some of these great, exceptional, fast players that are just, God bless them with the ability to run fast and do certain things. But those are anomalies, right? Everyone doesn't have that. There's one or two or three of those throughout the country. They're not on every team. But I think that the competition level is not as big or disparately as people think it is when you say Division III to Division I. There's some gaps that are closing. I'm not saying there isn't. There is a gap, but it's closing. It's shrinking. It's just like college basketball, right? A small school that we never heard about called Florida A&M comes in there and makes it to the Final Four. You know what I'm saying? Like, where the hell they come from?
Where are they from? Right? Out here
and beating
fighting
these guys,
alligators, and
beating all
here
these
they
other
are.
guys.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the disparity in college sports is not as big as people think it is. There is a gap. Don't get me wrong. Division I, Power 5 is Division I, Power 5.
Mm-hmm.
D3 is D3. But what I'm saying, skilled players can make the transition and come to some of the things and be productive. They can't be productive. So I love what saying quarterback Sanders said is like the competition is really no difference. Well, I saw this at HBCU. So I'm glad he said that. Now that hopefully that opens the more doors for HBCUs to play some of these powerhouses for one. And two, it opens the door just for more athletes that are in the HBCU world to kind of come in. They can play with the big boys as well, or so-called big boys.
Yeah.
But right back to what I was saying, Deion Sanders has changed the platform. I think people don't understand. Deion winning that game, all that money they were talking about Deion, they spent on Deion, he made that back in one game.
Oh my gosh, bruh! To be a fly on the wall in the athletic director's box during that game, and to hear all of the 4-letter words that probably came out of his mouth that said we here,
did it.
right? We're not coming anymore. We here.
We made the right decision by hiring him. So you guys got to think about it. It cost, I think, Deion, for them to bring him and his staff on, it cost them an estimated $30 million, right? $30 million. A lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
With a salary and everything he did. Okay. Deion on national TV just beat a nationally ranked team to get his team thrown in the national ranks. Right there.
So what does
that do? Well, he got $4 million probably be for national TV to play in TCU. For one at TCU, probably got $4 million on national TV. That's one. Two, him winning that game now catapults him to probably like another 6 national TV games at $4 million a pop. So now that he just made $28 million just on TV rights alone. Right? We're just talking about TV rights alone. We're not talking about.
And that's why all these schools are moving conferences for this TV money.
Deion Sanders winning one game just made his school $28 million.
Okay.
I don't think people. They paid $30 million. He just made 28 on one game. He still has 10 more to go.
Bruh.
That's not including ticket sales to sell out where his home field. That's
Everybody wear
merchandise. That's not
Everybody
including the sponsorship that's coming this way. That's not including the NIL money that's coming this way. That's not including.
Shador just bought him a Maybach. Hey, I saw it on Instagram. Shador just bought him a Maybach because he's got was it $4 million or he's got some pretty nice NIL money. He just bought him a Maybach.
Yeah. So on one game, this man made $28 million plus with probably at least another $50 million to go in 1 year. $78 million. And God forbid if he makes the playoffs,
oh my God,
it's over. Deion would have made the University of Colorado over $100 million in 1 year. Tell me who does that?
Nobody. Saban hasn't done it.
No one's done that.
Hasn't done it.
No one.
No
Not
one
in their
has
first
done
year.
it.
No one's done that in their first year. This dude is changing the way college football is made and catered and done. And he's done it in a way unconventional. Never been done before, but he's doing it, and like he said, he's not going nowhere. Unfortunately, he's not going nowhere.
Yeah.
His team is actually hella young. They're young. He don't have a lot of seniors on that team. They're young. They got a great coaching staff. They brought the guys over from Kent State, the offensive coordinator, the O-line coach. They couldn't have played a better game offensively with their line and with their quarterback coach and offensive coordinator. With that being said, man, as great as a win that was for Deion, and I'm so happy for that program, that wasn't even the biggest game win of the weekend. Duke beating Clemson on national TV.
Okay, so we were going to talk about that too. Yeah.
That was the biggest win.
That was depressing, to be honest with you. I couldn't believe that. Yeah, Duke
beat
Clemson.
Yeah. Now, TCU and Colorado going this back and forth, right? It was going back and forth. Duke blew Clemson out. It wasn't even. It was that 28-7 was. It should have been 50-7.
Yeah, that was actually embarrassing. That was not a good game, right? I mean, and they just something, I don't know, something was in the water or whatever. But Clemson losing like that was not right to that team. So
let's put it in perspective. Okay, Duke just beat the number 9 team in the nation, right? Duke beat the number 19 team. Duke's not getting 6 more national televised games. Deion beat the 17th team in the nation, and he's going to get about 6 more national televised games. There's a change, fella. There's a change in the guard. Nick Saban and Deebo Samuels are no longer the most powerful men in college football. Deion Sanders right now is about to take that throne, if he hasn't already taken it. I said it here first. Deion Sanders is probably the most powerful coach in college football right now today. Nick Saban may have him edged by a little bit, and we got Kirby Smart over there in Georgia. Those guys they're there. Don't get me wrong, they're there.
Kirby
but
gonna try to
Deion
do it
right
again.
now is
Right?
the hottest
Did
and
it
most
last year.
influential. He's there. And in 1 year, you got to tell. In 1 year, we're talking about Deion being mentioned as one of the most powerful coaches. In 1 year, when it took those guys at least 10 to 15 to 30 years to earn their title. It's taking them one.
These are new days, and that's after only one game. They won. You noticed. So there was 2 things about the game that I noticed. One, every other commercial was Deion and his family.
Yes.
So there's listen, they good business people. They know what they're doing for sure.
Yep.
And Shador threw for all those yards, but he threw for all those yards. He didn't have to run. There's a few sacks. Look, TCU is TCU. They a decent squad, but he didn't even put his legs to work. So come this week and come Nebraska, the odds obviously have shifted a little bit, but we're gonna see what's gonna happen. And someone like Travis Hunter, who's out there playing both sides of the ball, that man is a dog. That man is a beast out there.
The thing that people need to understand and realize, Deion right now at this point could lose every game of the season. He can go 1-9 again. He still will be the most influential coach right now because of what he's doing in the portal, the way he is setting up Colorado, the way he is setting up the young men in Colorado for them to be successful, the way he's getting guys that normally didn't have a good NIL deal. He's getting them NIL deals. He's getting eyes on guys to get to the NFL and other ventures. He's changing the way the thought process and everything is going in college football for these young athletes. He understands how the NIL works, where the Sabans and the Deebo Swan don't understand. They don't want nothing to do with it. Deion is maximizing. I'll be the first one to admit, I didn't think he was going to win. I didn't think he had it, that they were going to win. I didn't think they had enough. I wouldn't say I didn't think they had enough. I didn't know enough about what they were going to do in order to beat TCU because they've never played together. Like you said, 84 transfers in. Didn't know what they had. Didn't know what they were going to do, how they were going to gel together. Obviously, Deion put that to dispel. You got to think, he had 84 transfers coming in. He cleaned house. 84. Damn near brand new scheme guys that all have college experience. Think about it. It's like having a football team and you're bringing in 84 new free agents that have experience playing.
All alpha males, too. Everybody wants to play, right? Everybody wants to make that play.
His dynamic is, I'm going to get top recruits to come to Colorado. He is, because the way he's setting it up to be successful. And people may think of me crazy, say, oh, it's only one game. How are you going to say that? I'm telling you, Deion Sanders is one of the most powerful men in college football right now. Right now.
Hey, you're doing Aflac commercials with Saban. So, and I'm being facetious and being funny about that. But again, not everyone gets to hang with someone like Saban. And again, first year head coach in this conference, and then now he messed around and won. He's got Brady that's reached out to Shador. He's got NFL players reaching out to the team and saying congratulations. So it's a whole different thing.
No one in their first year brings a delta of a plus 70 million in.
Yeah.
Deion is on trajectory to bring a delta of a plus 70 million to one university for one sport. Let's be honest with you. His power goes beyond football. Kids are going to want to come play basketball and baseball and run track, all because Deion is at Colorado.
Yeah, listen, I was at the campus a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago. Man, it's nice there too. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
what he did at Jacksonville is transferring over to Colorado. Remember, Jacksonville, their enrollment went up almost 100% when he was there. What you think? Now he's winning in Colorado. You think more people ain't gonna want to go to Colorado?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Everyone in the state is going to want to go to Colorado.
Everybody wants to
And
go to Boulder now. Everyone
yeah,
wants to go
everyone wants
live,
to be in Boulder.
vacation, and go check out what's going on there. And walk around campus, see if we can see Deion come around with his little scooter or his little bicycle, or whatever
So
the case may be.
I'm just saying, name somebody, anybody. I don't care any of our fans about. Name somebody. Their delta is plus 70 million in their first year.
No one, nobody. Right? Everyone's listening to him now. Everyone was hearing him before. Now everyone's listening to him. David Hunt's in the building. Appreciate you for being here, brother. So let's just go and guess, right? This is what we do. We'll do the analyst thing. Nebraska's coming up this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be. I think they got.
I don't like Colorado's defense. I don't like Colorado's defense, but their offense is too explosive for Nebraska.
They gave up way too many plays. They gave up way too much, and
I
TCU
believe,
wasn't as sharp. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think their offense carries them over. I think they don't put up as many points as they did as TCU because they won't have to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they put somewhere plus 30, and they went like 30 to 20 something in the game. I think Deion goes 2-0 from that. It could be a shocker. I would, if it was a shocker, it wouldn't throw me off that it was a shocker. But I don't think so. I think they're right on such a high, and I believe the one thing that people don't understand, Deion now has the intimidation clause on him. I'm imposing my will. That means, like Belichick used to do, he can impose his will and go on their coaches because of his aura, Belichick. Deion is starting to develop that aura. I can go. I'm getting to go in these big houses, go play, and I'm going to dominate. My team's going to win, and we're going to walk out. And he's speaking it into existence. And
wait till he get to the big houses like that too. Wait till college game day shows up in Boulder. People gonna lose their mind. I'm gonna try to get a flight there just to hang out.
You want to lose your mind too with him, huh?
Right. I just want to be there, wearing my Buffalo's gear and doing my thing.
Hey, but what's crazy? I'm surprised. Like people always ask me, like, man, because I follow college football a lot. I think the best team on the West Coast right now is in that conference, but it's not Colorado and it's not USC. I believe it's Utah. I think Utah's the best team on the West Coast right now. Utah is solid all up and down. And the way they spanked Florida, I was like, whoa, that's a whole different ball. That's a whole different joke, and not spanking on somebody in the SEC like that.
Yeah.
I think that right now, the West Coast is wide open. I think they're going to come out on top if they can stay healthy and everything plays away. USC will be right there. Oregon will be right there, button heads. But now, if Deion is showing what they're showing, they're going to be in the mix somewhere along the way. And if Deion can get the guys bowl eligible, if he can get them bowl eligible, win 6 games, which I think he will now, if he can get them bowl eligible in this first year, man, it's. You think his recruiting was bad this year? Yeah. Next year, oh my goodness,
he gonna be on a whole nother plane, a whole nother level. He gonna ask for a salary negotiation for sure. So let me ask this before. Go ahead, because I was gonna ask the question.
No, I'm like, I won't be surprised if somebody in the SEC makes a run for Deion if he goes bold this year. He'll stay from Colorado one more year, then I think he'll be out.
Yeah,
I just think the money's gonna be too big again, and he's gonna get everything he wants and then some more, and he's gonna get to go back home.
Yeah. Right off to the sunset of that episode. I was just going to say, with all these conference changes and things like that, I got to give shouts out to Oregon State because they won against San Jose. They look pretty decent, but they're part of Mountain West. And
don't sleep on the Mountain West.
And Montel Allen called that ahead of time before it was official. So want to give you them flowers on that. But OSU was looking decent as they pulled out that win against San Jose. But
I think Clemson wish they had that quarterback back.
Oof, my goodness! you keep bringing up Clinton, dude. You better leave him alone.
Hey, DJ went over to Oregon State. He looked good against San Jose State.
You picking at the wounds, man. Picking at the
wounds.
Man.
You know what though, Debo Samuels, not Debo Samuels, but Debo Swaney. Come on, bro. You're the number 9 team in the nation. You play against a non-ranked. Thought it was going to be an easy game, and you get whooped like you did against them. And everything Debo's been fighting against, like the NIL and fighting against all that stuff, is biting him on the tail. It's really biting him on the tail as far as the way his team is being good. And to be honest with you, if he gets too far behind the line, he'll never be able to catch up. because everybody else is bringing in transfers. Everybody else is doing the things they're supposed to do to stay relevant at that Power 5 stage. Clemson's not. Man, you number 9 and you lose?
You got some explaining to do. You got some
Hey,
explaining.
I tell you right now, though, you know what's funny? Before we move on,
yeah,
I guarantee you the coach of TCU was in the AD's office on Monday having a conversation.
Man.
I guarantee you they were like,
I don't think they
one
waited that
time.
long.
Yeah.
I don't think they waited. I think that was a weekend conversation for sure.
That might have been a phone call conversation, right? And we need to jump on the phone call because the bottom line, you were 17 in the national championship and you just lost. Because you got to think, Colorado picks up all that TV money, nationally televised games. TCU just lost televised games.
And TCU, Texas, and listen, Texas college sports, college football is serious business. It's just for fun and for play out here in the West Coast. But over in Texas, it's more important than some families and all that. All right, so that's college. Let's talk about NFL. You ready? I know you're ready.
Yeah.
Who you looking at, man? Who you trying to look at? Who you looking at, man? I ain't not even gonna make no predictions.
You know what, man? Miami looks real good.
You looking at Miami. You looking at them
Miami
Dolphins.
looks real good. But you know what? 49ers, I just can't see nobody beating them for the champ. Man, if they can play anywhere near what they played last year on defense, and that offense can just progress a little bit, I don't see – it's going to be them in Kansas City again. I think just a caveat is, can Miami get over Kansas City? Which I don't know if they can. Dude, Mahomes is Mahomes. Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm just mad at Mahomes because he's so good. Because he just make it look too effortless. I ain't standing that.
I always tell people he's not the GOAT, but he's got GOAT potential.
he got GOAT tendencies in him, right?
Yeah, he got GOAT tendencies for sure. So I just don't. Kansas City's going to be strong again. I think they're going to start off slow because they're really injured already. But I think if they can pick it up in the end, they should be fine. 49ers are going to be strong. Again, they have to avoid injuries, right? They got to avoid. If Purdy gets injured again, I think it's going to be a long season. I don't know what they're going to do if that happens. And McCaffrey has a history of being injured, so can he make it through a whole year again? And even Deebo Samuels he's having history. He's had injury issues as well. So I think with the NFL, it all depends on who can stay healthy. Mostly.
Yeah, and
the Jets are intriguing. Yeah.
Go ahead. I was gonna say because along those lines and those because I always like the story pieces right there. So I'm looking at again who can stay healthy and wondering how Rodgers is going to do in New York. I'm wondering will we get a full season out of Odell? Right. I want Odell to Beckham. I want him to win. I really I want him to just get through a season and have a solid season. So the Jets. I want Odell to have something. And I'm curious to see, I don't know why, but I'm curious to see how Zeke does in New England. I just don't know if that's really he's there because he's there. He's there because that's where the
that's what we'll take him. That's what's going to pay him.
That's what that's what we'll take. But I want to see how he fits into that system. I just don't know if he's a Belichick type of dude. But we'll see.
The funny part.
So those are the 3 stories off the top of my head that I'm thinking about.
I'm not a Zeke fan, but I want him to be successful there. I really do. I want him to prove everybody wrong and say I was successful. But also on the same speech, I want Dalvin Cook to prove everybody he was wrong. Minnesota was wrong in getting rid of him and have him have a big year with the Jets.
Okay.
I think if I'm looking at individuals, there's a lot of individuals I want to look at the NFL and I hope they be successful. Team-wise, those 3 right now, Miami's that wild card, man. If they can stay healthy, they got all the pieces to the puzzle to win on offense and defense.
What about the Bengals? Josh was in the building. Appreciate you being here, brother. What about
Cincy? I love the Bengals.
What about
I love it, but I mean, their quarterback's he's been hurt already.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't know, man. And their team depends solely on their quarterback, him being healthy. If he's not healthy, they're done. Just like Buffalo. They talk about obviously
Burrow, he country strong though. He'll be back. He country strong.
And man, I like with the Chargers. The Chargers got a good team. Chargers should be successful this year. They got a good squad. I think there's a lot of teams that are good, and there's really not a team that's elite, right?
Yeah.
There's really not that one team you say, hey, there's an elite team, they're gonna go out there. I think the closest we got to elite is the 49ers. But their question mark can Purdy stay healthy. If Purdy can stay healthy and do what he did last year, he'll be fine. But I want to warn people. Defensive coordinators are very smart. Purdy surprised everyone last year because no one knew about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a secret anymore. So teams will know how to plan and go against him. So I don't know if he's going to have the same success as he did last year because teams are going to be now more prepared for him and that offense with 49ers. I'm talking about his individual success. I don't think that'll stop them from winning. I just think his individual success might not be as great as it was last year.
Well, they need to
fill
them seats up because all that money they gave Bosa. They need to fill them. They need to fill them.
5 years, $170 million. Yeah, they better fill them seats up. And the seats they got already, the ticket price is about to go up. So I'm also interested to see what the Raiders gonna do. To be honest with you, and I don't even like the Raiders.
Look at you. Shout out.
No, not shout out to them. I want to see them lose. I want to see Josh McDaniels fail again. I can't stand him as a coach. I don't think he's very good.
You've always hated. You've always hated him, Josh McDaniels.
I don't think he was very good.
David, as a Patriots fan, I'm not looking forward to the Jets' success. I hear you on that. I hear that. Remember, though, Burrow was hurt early last season, and then boom, AFC Championship. Like I say, man, he country strong.
I agree. He's strong, but I mean, one injury and you're young and you haven't been there, and you get healthy and you get it. Yes. Second injury and you've been there. It's not that much. I don't think the drive is as strong to get back like that again. Like you're more protective of yourself. You got to understand what's at stake. So I'm kind of. Burrow, man, I love them. I love they got Mixon. I love they got, the receiver core. They got a great receiver core. And they got actually a great defense, or pretty good defense. You Pittsburgh Steelers fans will know about that. Cincinnati has a pretty good defense. So
you said that with a little tone in your voice there. But
yeah, because, I love them. But I think, and I love the way they dominate. They dominate the state of Ohio. They own Cleveland. I think they'll continue to own Cleveland regardless of the situation.
Yeah.
Football's gonna be funny this year, man. And I'm not a big NFL fan anymore because NFL is just the rules.
That's why at the beginning I said, no, let's talk about college because that's where the excitement is, right? So I'm with you, man. I'm watching less and less of them, and I'm watching Tebow and College Game Day, and we just got through watching the story about Urban Meyer and all of them right now. Swampland. Man,
yeah.
I was surprised. My wife said, let's go watch this. I said, go ahead, girl. I said, okay. Shoot.
So that being said, the NFL, man, I only watch NFL because that's the only thing on Sundays to watch, to be honest with you. I mean, if I had to choose between them and college, I'd probably watch a college game.
Me too.
The NFL doesn't. For fantasy lovers, yes, it's a great, right? It's a great day for fantasy football people. I'm not a fantasy football guy, so the game is slow. You can't. Defenses have no chance. They don't have any chance no more. You can't sneeze on nobody without a penalty being called, and it's just very hard. It's very difficult to watch where it's so geared towards the quarterback to be successful and everybody else to be unsuccessful.
A lot of the competitiveness is taken out. So let's keep it moving. Let me talk about some of these comments that have come in because I want to ask them. So Josh was saying, do we think Brock will be the starter this year? Yes. It is his team. Brock Purdy will be starting for the San Francisco 49ers. You can print that and call your local CBS ABC station right there. Will Trey Lance start this season and will Dak get benched? Dak will throw an interception. Game 1.
Trey Lance will get an opportunity to prove himself, I think, in Dallas at some point.
Yeah, Dak will throw a good handful of interceptions, and he will come out looking just wrong. But man, so rooting for Trey too. I didn't put him in that top 3 that I'm looking at because I feel a little bit differently. I don't know if he's going to get that chance.
I think you know why Dak. I don't think Dak can stay healthy for a whole season.
Okay.
I don't think he can stay healthy for a whole season. I think Trey will get his chance to play. But I think Trey, with the bad press he's getting, he got so much in San Francisco, that's going to carry with him over to Dallas. So if he's not successful right off the bat, they will put another stigma in him in Dallas that he's not that good. Which anybody out there that knows football, really, I think he could play. He just hasn't played in the right system. Is Dallas that right system? I'm not quite sure. But I do believe he's going to get his chance to play at some point. Because Dak's not going to be healthy. I don't think Dak can stay healthy for a whole season. I don't think he's going to sit out a long period of time. I just don't know if he can be healthy for the whole season.
He just can't carry. He's never carry the team to the promised land, and his timetable is dwindling down as well. Shouts out to you, Kevin Cox, in the building. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing okay. I'll reach out to you, brother, just to check in with you. He says Dallas has nothing to lose with Lance. Dak gonna get hurt at some point. We over here, we got these magic 8 balls, and we predicting the future.
I just don't see it, man. I mean, I don't see Dak being healthy, man. And Dak gets a lot of bad criticism, bro. Dak's a pretty damn good quarterback. He's good.
He
okay. Wait. I'll prove it. If Dak was to go to Pittsburgh right now, would you take it?
Over
what you got right now?
Okay, God, let me take my glasses off now.
The answer is yes, but I'll wait for you to try to find
him. Yeah, I would take him. Wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't buy that jersey, but I wouldn't buy the jersey. But I'd be like, okay, man, come on now, do something. Show up.
Dak's not a bad quarterback, man. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think that system that he's in Dallas puts him in situations that are not so favorable, and he's been asked to throw a lot more. When he used to have Ezekiel Elliott, who was before he was diminishing, was almost a damn 1,500-yard running back, 1,500 yards a season.
Yeah.
Now Dak's been getting hurt because Ezekiel's been averaging less than 1,000 yards a season. So it's hard.
They ain't feeding him.
Yeah. you can't feed him because he can't stay. So it's a lot of things going to why people demise and everything. So I think Dak's pretty good. You could ask, his receivers, they love him. He plays pretty well. He plays to win. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
He plays to win. He gives it all he can.
He's not out there trying to throw game. I mean, right? He's not out there trying to lose. He's out there, he's got a good rapport with his receiving team and his backs. But yeah,
their offensive coordinator ain't the greatest coordinator in the world at all. I'm sorry to say, Dallas's offensive coordinator ain't that great. So you put Dak in I think you put Dak in a different system. I think Dak even flourishes even more than he is now. But he's not a bad guy. But I don't think he's gonna make it through the whole 17 games without getting hurt. I don't see it. I don't. Now with his history, it don't look that good.
He ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it, Coach. I tell you what, Josh, we gonna get to this one later. I think it's too early to call who's gonna win the division. Let's watch one real game first, and then let's call it.
I know you don't. I know. I think
I ain't calling nothing because listen, who is it? Someone's already saying Fig Money is talking about we already got the Super Bowl picked out. Jets and the Niners. That might be, but I don't know if the Jets.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a great story, right? Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl going against the Niners. That's a great story.
That would be Aaron Rodgers going to, because he always wanted to play for the Niners. See, that's a whole nother story. No.
That's great.
Happening.
But I mean, you're never going to be able to pick a Super Bowl winner until like it's a week now 12 because we don't know who can't even come close to seeing who's doing it.
We got ACLs, MCLs, everything getting torn and pulled and all that.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, ask the question. I'll cut it down. Ask us actually next week. I'll come up with something. I'm not even going to try to come up with something. Would I take Trey Lance in Pittsburgh right now?
Yes.
Tomlin and Trey Lance right now.
I would too.
Today. I listen, right now. I'd buy that jersey. All right, brother. Let's keep it moving. I think folks is down for this. So we're gonna have a good time for sure during full on football season.
My question is, hey, how do people feel about Jordan Love replacing my man that went to the Jets? How do you think Jordan Love's gonna do? Because he looked great in preseason.
Yeah,
he looked excellent in preseason. So is this gonna be the next passing the torch like Brett? Remember how Brett Favre passed it on to Aaron Rodgers at Green Bay, and then Aaron Rodgers had this great career? Do we think Love is going to have that kind of career now that Aaron Rodgers is passing on to him? I believe the Pats are going to win the AFC East. No, I don't think so. I don't think they got enough firepower. I think that's going to Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins.
We about to have a 4-week. I'm purposely staying quiet because you, Josh, and David we're going to argue about this because He's a Patriots man, and okay, I'm just
dude. I love Bill Belichick. My favorite coach. I love Bill Belichick. I just don't think they got the personnel to compete with Miami and Buffalo to win the division. Not to win the division. They might win a game, but they ain't not gonna. I don't think they're gonna win the division.
We'll see.
Yeah, you're right, Kevin Cox. 2018 style. You're absolutely right.
out there
I don't like
playing
their
out there
coordinator's
playing
horrible.
wishbone. You know, not even running I formation, running wishbone
Yeah,
instead of
so
wildcat. Oh my god! But what sport is happening right now? And let's keep moving on, and we gonna talk about this real quick because I think it's happening right now. Um, man, we got some tennis happening.
oh yeah, absolutely. Fabulous, the Fab Four. Yeah,
We got the U.S. Open happening, and I was watching it last night, and this young kid, Ben Shelton, was playing against my boy Tiafo, and Ben Shelton, all of 20 years old, full of testosterone and adrenaline, and out there just flossing on him, right? He out there just talking to the crowd and just talking madness. He got Tiafo out there sweating. It is hot in New York. They actually, I believe, had to close the ceiling today because it was so darn hot out there. But man, that was a great match. We
he
got
got swag, man. He got
he got
swag.
that he got that that's it right there. He got the swag. He got that Deion swag. He
Mhm.
he know he good. He can serve at 147 miles an hour, and you just not gonna return 147 mile per hour overhead serve. Coco Golf, Ben Shelton in the semifinals at the U.S. Open. These young black athletes is out here acting a fool and doing their thing, man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
think
man.
it's
Coco.
reason to celebrate. It's reason to celebrate because we haven't had success like this in the U.S. Open as African Americans playing tennis since
Since the two up at top, since Serena and
yeah,
Venus.
so tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to see that this is kind of going on and you know we got two young, promising African American tennis players to kind of take over the reins of what Venus and Serena did. And man, it's exciting, I think, for African Americans to see them on the stage and doing really, really well. So I think they deserve to be celebrated because, that sport right now is getting a lot of, well, tennis is becoming more and more popular. So
See,
it's all
with the
good.
pickleball, who out there?
Hey,
You got your pickleball rackets yet? Or what?
yeah,
I got
no, but I see
I
it.
got to learn the
I see all
rules
these
first.
pickleball tournaments. Yeah,
My
pickleball has become popular, so tennis is coming on. Is on point. So,
bruh, this is so okay. Hold on. So Sheldon is playing Joker, and I got the schedule here because I wanted to make sure I got it right. I don't want to get it wrong because folks will come. Don't flame me on Twitter like y'all. Well, I ain't gonna get into that. On the 8th. So today is what, Wednesday? So Friday at
yeah,
12 a.m. Eastern, Sheldon is playing Joker.
12 a.m.
Joker.
They playing that late at night.
Yeah, 12 a.m.
So,
Eastern time. 12 a.m. Eastern time.
so 9 o'clock our time, then.
9
or 9
o'clock.
or 10
Yeah,
o'clock.
yeah. Well, again, it's hot, man. It's hot in New York. It's humid. So maybe that's who knows. But that's when they're going to do it.
Well, you can't play
And
tennis anytime, right? Yeah, that's true.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, Arthur Ashe Stadium over there. That's grown folk money. Shouts out to the Arthur Ashe. That's my distant cousin too. So I got to give
yes, sir.
props
Yes,
to
sir.
that man. Man, y'all tune into the U.S. Open and watch these amazing athletes play. Um, I'm rooting for Sheldon. I'm obviously rooting for Coco Golf. We've talked about her since she's all of 19 right now. She's out there killing it. Folks are seeing her. She's looking good. She's playing good. She was playing doubles the other day. Listen, this is just a good time for a different sport for folks to see positive role models out there doing good things and winning the
Yep.
right way. So yeah, I'm with you on that, man. There we go. We're gonna end on that. We're not gonna talk. We're not gonna talk about the Apple Watch scandal at FSU. We're not gonna get into that. But we'll talk. We'll talk about this situation later. FSU receiver spotted in game wearing Apple Watches, and of course you can't wear electronic devices. We'll get into that discussion at another time. Let me
Yep.
see. Let me see if we got any comments coming in. She the real deal. Yes, she is for sure. All right, brother. Take us home.
Oh man.
We talked about a lot of good stuff tonight, but bring us
Yeah.
home.
First and foremost, all NFL fans and all that, we got to say rest in peace to Mike Williams, who passed away. He played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I did see that.
I think it was a construction accident or something. He lost his life, man. Great player. Wish him and his family peace of mind. Our prayers is with them. Also, man, if anybody out there, man, join that fight against cancer. We know as we get older, we know a lot more people that have it and discovering they got it. So be aware of that, man. Shout out to family members that have it, and just show them that support and that love, and donate if you can to help support that cause, to help something to at least try to cure all these cancers, because it's very rampant in our communities now, and that's including the African American communities. Whether you like to admit it or not, it is. It's starting to become really fluent with breast cancer and some colon cancer and so on and so on. So make sure everybody's aware of that. Last, man, please, everybody, we always say this. Please be comfortable saying in uncomfortable get comfortable having uncomfortable conversations.
Come on now, I know we've been gone for 2 weeks. Get it right, brother.
Man, please get comfortable having uncomfortable conversations, because that's the way we learn from each other and we grow. So with that being said, peace, everybody.
We out. We'll get these other comments a little bit later. We'll follow with y'all on the next show. Like Montel said, do what we got to do. We'll catch y'all next week.